Donald John Trump, born June 14, 1946, is an American politician, media personality, and businessman who served as the 45th President of the United States from 2017 to 2021. Trump graduated from the Wharton School with a bachelor's degree in 1968. He became president of his father's real estate business in 1971 and renamed it the Trump Organization. He expanded its operations to building and renovating skyscrapers, hotels, casinos, and golf courses, and later started side ventures, mostly by licensing his name. From 2004 to 2015, he co-produced and hosted the reality television series The Apprentice. He and his businesses have been plaintiff or defendant in more than 4,000 state and federal legal actions, including 6 corporate bankruptcies. He won the 2016 presidential election as the Republican nominee against Democratic nominee Hillary Clinton, while losing the popular vote. During that campaign, Trump's political positions were described as populist, protectionist, isolationist, and nationalist. He was the first U.S. president with no prior military or government service. His election and policies sparked numerous protests. The 2017 to 2019 Special Counsel investigation established that Russia interfered in the 2016 election to favor his campaign. Trump promoted conspiracy theories and made many false and misleading statements during his campaigns and presidency, to a degree unprecedented in American politics. Many of his comments and actions have been characterized as racially charged or racist, and many as misogynistic. As president, Trump ordered a travel ban on citizens from several Muslim-majority countries, diverted military funding toward building a wall on the US-Mexico border, and implemented a policy of family separations for apprehended migrants. He weakened environmental protections, rolling back more than 100 environmental policies and regulations. He signed the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act of 2017, which cut taxes for individuals and businesses, and rescinded the individual health insurance mandate penalty of the Affordable Care Act. He appointed 54 federal appellate judges and 3 U.S. Supreme Court justices. He initiated a trade war with China and withdrew the U.S. from the proposed Trans-Pacific Partnership Trade Agreement, the Paris Agreement on Climate Change, and the Iran nuclear deal. He met with North Korean leader Kim Jong-un 3 times, but made no progress on denuclearization. He reacted slowly to the COVID-19 pandemic, ignored or contradicted many recommendations from health officials, used political pressure to interfere with testing efforts, and spread misinformation about unproven treatments. Trump lost the 2020 United States presidential election to Joe Biden. He refused to concede defeat, falsely claiming widespread electoral fraud, and attempted to overturn the results by pressuring government officials, mounting scores of unsuccessful legal challenges, and obstructing the presidential transition. On January 6, 2021, he urged his supporters to march to the U.S. Capitol, which many of them then attacked, resulting in multiple deaths and interrupting the electoral vote count. Since leaving office, Trump has remained heavily involved in the Republican Party. In November 2022, he announced his candidacy for the Republican nomination in the 2024 presidential election. In March 2023, a Manhattan grand jury indicted him on 34 felony counts of falsifying business records, and, in June, a federal grand jury indicted him on 37 counts related to his handling of classified documents. Joseph Robinette Biden Jr., born November 20, 1942, is an American politician who is the 46th and current President of the United States. A member of the Democratic Party, He previously served as the 47th Vice President from 2009 to 2017 under President Barack Obama, and represented Delaware in the United States Senate from 1973 to 2009. Born in Scranton, Pennsylvania, Biden moved with his family to Delaware in 1953. He studied at the University of Delaware before earning his law degree from Syracuse University. He was elected to the New Castle County Council in 1970 and became the sixth youngest senator in U.S. history, after he was elected in 1972, at age 29. Biden was the chair or ranking member of the Senate Foreign Relations Committee for 12 years. He chaired the Senate Judiciary Committee from 1987 to 1995, drafted and led the effort to pass the Violent Crime Control and Law Enforcement Act and the Violence Against Women Act, and oversaw 6 U.S. Supreme Court confirmation hearings, including the contentious hearings for Robert Bork and Clarence Thomas. Biden ran unsuccessfully for the Democratic presidential nomination in 1988 and 2008. Barack Obama chose him as his running mate in the 2008 and 2012 presidential elections. Biden was a close counselor to Obama during his 2 terms as vice president. He also oversaw infrastructure spending to counteract the Great Recession, and had a principal role in designing the withdrawal of United States troops from Iraq. In the 2020 presidential election, Biden and his running mate, Kamala Harris, defeated incumbents Donald Trump and Mike Pence. On January 20, 2021, at the age of 78, Biden became the oldest president in U.S. history, the first to have a female vice president, and the first from Delaware. In 2021, Biden signed a bipartisan infrastructure bill, as well as a $1.9 trillion economic stimulus package in response to the COVID-19 pandemic and subsequent recession. He proposed the Build Back Better Act, which failed in Congress, but aspects of which were incorporated into the Inflation Reduction Act that was signed into law in 2022. He appointed Ketanji Brown Jackson to the Supreme Court. He worked with congressional Republicans to prevent a first-ever national default by negotiating a deal to raise the debt ceiling. In foreign policy, Biden restored America's membership in the Paris Agreement. He oversaw the complete withdrawal of U.S. troops from Afghanistan that ended the war in Afghanistan, during which the Afghan government collapsed and the Taliban seized control. He has responded to the Russian invasion of Ukraine by imposing sanctions on Russia and authorizing foreign aid and weapons shipments to Ukraine. On April 25, 2023, Biden announced his intention to run for a second term as president in 2024.